Trevor, we had discussion about a few topics at lunchtime. Would you like to summarize anything that you find important or anything that you would find useful or would like to discuss further?
I would like to discuss equanimity, and it wasn't mentioned by name really, but like it like just the understanding that feeling hardness, like, and just the phenomena of the senses being sensed, are like, there's understanding of that, and like you don't put precedence over one or the other, which kind of like brought in to a personal struggle of mine that I've had with OCD, chronic anxiety, and depression, where I just have like thoughts that caused a lot of distress in the past, and it helped to view them very impersonally, like, and see them as just thoughts, just label them just thoughts and move on. And I think it was really important for me to have this talk at lunch with Ajahn Suchin and friends, that that kind of, there is wholesome and unwholesome chittas, but they're also just chittas arising in, and I'm not sure my understanding of it is quite right yet, but like, it's just there were a few moments that clicked, and like I started to get the sense that I was on the right path. I've been like searching for a long time for like different kind of, through different religions and different traditions of philosophy and religion and stuff like that. I already said religion, but like it's good to just know that I got a foot on the right path now, like, and that I kind of started on a good foot, I guess. And I think that it has a lot of potential to help me and others with their struggles with anxiety and depression and debilitating mental conditions that just seem like they won't go away. And like, I guess I want to say to anyone who's listening that has experienced that in the past, that anything that just anything that seems looming in your life, whether it's something that you think is going to crush you or save you, it's just things happening, and just there's something quiet in the middle of all of that, and like, it's sort of worthwhile to go to try and understand that. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Obsessive compulsive disorder. So thanks very much, Trevor, for those explanations. And I think it's great that you, in the short time you were able to have discussion over lunch, that you found things that were meaningful and useful, because the Dhamma is, according to the Buddha, deep and subtle and difficult to understand. Those were his words, as Ajahn mentioned this morning, in the first sutta that he gave after his enlightenment. And I'm glad that you're encouraged to continue. Just a word of caution, because the study of the Dhamma is not a cure for our unwholesome mental states, and not an immediate cure. So, of course, I think a lot of people have the conception that if they are studying the Dhamma, there'll be a lot more gusala in their life and much less agusala. And so people who have that expectation may be tempted to practice meditation, for example. But the Buddha didn't offer that kind of immediate outcome for an interest in the Dhamma. So it needs patience and time and a lot of consideration. Yes. Yeah.
Trevor just gave a summary of the points he found helpful from the lunchtime discussion. And a couple of times Ajahn asked him, is there understanding? And he said, well, what do you mean? And so on. And then, is there understanding? And he said, a little. And I think she asked him, what about now? What is seen now? And he said, as most people would, a cup. And Ajahn answer was, no understanding. So actually, the beginning of understanding is understanding that there's no understanding. So most of the day, most of the time, no understanding at all, and a lot of misunderstanding. But we discussed how whether it's understanding or no understanding, they're just different realities. So we talked about what are realities, what is touched now, what is seen now, what is heard now, because to understand more about what life is now and what is Dhamma now, there has to be the firmer and firmer understanding of what is real as opposed to what is imaginary or thought about. And when we think of seeing as something in the heart or something that quickly arises and falls away, it's not the understanding of seeing now. So getting closer and closer to the actual realities is the only way to understand there is no one here, no thing here, just different dhammas arising and falling away, all dukkha, all unsatisfactory, not worth clinging to. So no matter whether there's pleasant feeling or painful feeling, anxiety or calmness, understanding or no understanding, they're just dhammas. And as Robert pointed out, when there is understanding and awareness, it doesn't matter what the reality is that is known, whether it's good or bad or this or that, because they're all just different dhammas. And you asked about equanimity. So at the moment of understanding, is there any anxiety at the moment of understanding?
What was brought up was that understanding is painless.
It cannot hurt. That was
Yeah.
Ajahn's comment, that
That
no
was, yeah.
matter what problems one may have in life, whatever difficulties, understanding can never hurt. It
Yeah.
cannot harm at all.
Yeah. And that was very just reassuring to hear.
And at that moment of understanding, there is calmness, there is equanimity at that moment.
On an unrelated topic, just one discussion I was having with someone was about a lot of people believe that if they can have more concentration first, then it will be easier to have wisdom that dissects the present moment. This is a very common belief I've noticed among Buddhists. I used to have that sort of idea too because I was told that. But actually, related to what Trevor was saying, doesn't matter even one is having great fear or rage or lust or anything. All of these realities can be understood as they are. So if one has fear, it's not, well, I'll go and sit in a corner and get nice and concentrated and then I'll study fear. But the moment fear arises, or any other reality for that matter, is the time that understanding can be aware, if there are other conditions. So we're not trying to move away from the present moment and first do this and do that to have something and then be aware, but it's a matter of any reality can be understood.
Who knows, when there's no understanding, we just talk about that we don't have any understanding at all. For example, concentration. What is it? Or whatever we talk about, what is it in truth?
Yes. Yeah. It's a moment that's of the mind, just a chitta, right?
Is there any understanding of the mind and the chitta?
There's an image of it. It's not quite there.
See that, but we talk about it. That's why learn to understand the truth that in fact, in truth, we just talk about that we don't have any understanding at all.
Yeah.
For example, calmness, see? What is it?
Sorry,
Calmness. Calm.
calmness. Like an absence of agitation.
See,
That's still thought, yeah.
that's why we have to understand very firmly from the very beginning about one reality or the meaning of the truth, like Dhamma. See, Dhamma is not the word, it's the reality. But without any word, how can there be the understanding of what is meant? So when we use the term Dhamma, it's real. It's whatever is real at that very moment,
At the present moment.
the meaning of Dhamma. So it's hardness Dhamma.
Hardness is.
Is it jealousy Dhamma?
Yes.
Is it attachment Dhamma?
Yes, attachment is.
And what do you mean by Dhamma?
Dhamma, a reality.
No one. Deeper than that.
An impersonal reality that just is there.
No one at all.
No one at all.
Because we have to understand deeper. Seeing is there. When there's no understanding, it is I see. But in truth, before seeing, there's no seeing, and where's the I? And as soon as seeing is there, it's I see. Right or wrong. Just consider what is there as it is. In life, from life to life, no understanding of what is there as it is at all. Each moment of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. So can it be very soon to get rid of wrong understanding and experience the truth, which now arises in false way, each one, not all together.
Has to come gradually, I think is what.
That's why learn to understand what's right and what's wrong, what is true and what is not true.
It's a long process. Like it's a gradual.
Everything.
Yeah. I think it would be gradual, like just a
So-
gradual kind of.
Does a cat see? A cat,
A cat. Yes.
a dog,
Yes.
a fish.
Yes.
So it's seeing
Vậy.
a cat.
No.
Không ạ.
That's why that it's the moment of understanding, seeing. It does not belong to anyone at all.
Right. Okay.
And when there's no conditions for it arising, it cannot arise at all. See, no one can make it arise. Begin to understand the reality, Dhamma. Only one Dhamma, not all together are Dhamma. But each one is Dhamma. At moment of seeing, is there feeling?
No.
See? But in truth, it's there.
There is.
Otherwise, when will there be pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling, indifferent feeling,
There's
if
some-
it's not there at moment of experiencing an object? But it's not that which sees. Learning to understand what is there at a time, to let go the idea of all I. Because in truth, it does not belong to anyone. It's just the way it is. Imagine. Now, the truth is that only one reality arises and falls away very rapidly. That's why the succession of that which arises and falls away so very quickly condition the shape and form instantly. But in truth, many, many uncountable moments to know one dot, which is seen now as eyes, many dots, lips, and so on. Is that true? Beginning to understand what is meant by understanding.
There needs to be memory and consistency. I
Whatever
think
is real is a Dhamma, conditioned. So it's no understanding a Dhamma.
No understanding is a Dhamma.
Avijja, we heard a lot.
Avijja is.
Avijja is
yeah.
there. And whenever there is avijja, no understanding, what is experienced must be something. And that moment is the object of attachment instantly. No one. So no matter how much we understand, it conditions the letting go of the clinging to that as I or someone or something. Because in truth, whatever is there now appearing, gone instantly. That's why we learn to understand Dhamma, no one at all. Right understanding can penetrate the truth, but not from the very beginning. It has to develop firmer and firmer and firmer to condition moment of right understanding with awareness directly on an object. For example, be true to the truth. Is there any understanding directly of that which sees now?
That which sees now, yeah.
Vâng,
Now seeing, is there any moment of directly understand it directly at moment when it's there? Where is seeing?
There's a little bit. It comes and goes
So close now at the eyes.
at the eyes, color.
Is there any moment attend to the characteristic which is not that which appears because it's seen? And the seeing, even it arises in false way, no understanding of its nature, just only intellectual understanding.
I see, yeah.
That's all. But that cannot let go. The very enormous take wrong understanding of self. That's why it has to be the moment of understanding what is there as it is, little by little. The first round must be so firm. So without the first round, understanding the truth, that Dhamma is now, it's conditioned. No one can make it arise at all. And as soon as it's there, it's gone. At moment of seeing this, hearing, never be the same moment at all. So learn to understand until there can be moment of directly aware of the truth of a reality right now. It's the beginning to patipatti. Just attend to one characteristic with right understanding, direct awareness of seeing, hearing, touching.
In every single moment, like it doesn't like really do to set aside time for it. You kind of just have to keep at it. Like,
như
No time at
Yeah.
all.
I see.
Different moment all the time and never to return. In samsara, not just only today of this life.
Yes.